Legend.
Hey brother.
How are you?
Good to see you. Got your coffee. So Dylan and I, we first met when we played together at GWS, and I guess as young men and young boys moving away from home at a really young age, you know, it's obviously quite difficult not knowing how to cook dinner and wash our clothes, and we even had our groceries bought for us. That's how much we knew about living out of home. I captained the team in the under-18s, and I was 2 years older than Dylan, and I moved into what was the small room, and Dylan had the big ensuite, so...
I was in there first.
Yeah, it was stiff though, I thought.
Alex actually became my guardian and taught me how to drive when I was on my learners, to and from training out at Blacktown.
Living with Dylan was great, easy, clean, loved his M&M peanuts, so there was always some chocolate in the house.
Super tackle, it is, brilliant tackle. So Carey with the tackle.
Alex was sort of played like and led like Joel Selwood, crash and bash. Not the biggest bloke, you know, midfielders aren't the biggest guys out in the field, but he certainly, you know, didn't let that bother him when it came to putting his body on the line, and certainly had some, you know, vivid memories of you sort of going back at the flight and not even shirking the contest.
I was too slow. I had no leg speed.
Still don't.
Couldn't kick the ball over a jam tin.
Still can't.
But yeah, I tried to get the most out of what I could.
Alex is pretty easygoing, obviously very humble, doesn't like to talk much about himself. But as I started to sort of find out a few things about him, that we were sort of aspiring to be professional footballers, starting to gather some intel that he was pretty good with the bat and the gloves. Looking back, those days were something that really luckily happened, and unfortunately it all ended, a bit too soon than I would have liked. One of the toughest days I've experienced in footy was the day that Alex was told that he wasn't going to be offered a contract at the Giants for their first AFL year. There were tears. There were tears. I broke down into tears, along with a couple of the other boys, because all the guys loved Alex so much, and we just wanted to have him around. I'll never forget that day. Haven't cried since someone got delisted, so only for one guy. When I got to choose my number, it was number 5 for Dylan at the Giants. We are pretty close, but there's one thing I was disappointed about. It was 2016. Yeah. You were engaged to Eloise. Yeah. And he had given me a date of the wedding that I was going to be able to get to. It was going to be in my off season, so I was pretty excited and lucky enough to be one of the groomsmen. Then he calls me and says that he's going to move it forward, which happened to fall on the prelim final that we played against the Bulldogs that night, and so I couldn't make his wedding. Instead, went through a bit of heartbreak in the prelim anyway. But I think I was more upset about the result for the boys. Obviously at GWS not getting through the granny, but we all had the little iPhones going during the wedding, and we were watching and hoping. But I'll make sure I schedule my wedding for the test or something. Yeah. If I get married. When it comes to summer, cricket's on, and I love watching it after training at night. It's always fun to see how Alex is going. I've always got somebody messaging me saying how good he's going, and I try to flick across. I believe that a baggy green should be on the cards for Alex. I think he's showing enough, and when his time comes, I think he's going to thrive.